first of all, let's have a look. Gaddafi's compound, that's known locally as Bab al-Azizir. It's a real focal point in the centre of Tripoli. You can't drive around Tripoli and not notice Bab al-Azizir. You literally have to go around it. Another important geographical location which we should give you is the Rixos Hotel. That's where Saif al-Islam turned up last night, and that's where about 30 or 40 journalists are currently who saw him in the early hours of the morning, and there are Gaddafi loyalists in that area as well. Now, we understand from our colleagues on the ground that there is a build-up to the east of the compound, heading towards the compound of rebel forces. I think it's becoming clear now that, as far as the rebel movement is concerned, that they will have to take Gaddafi's compound, perhaps not even just to try and find him, to rout him out if, and it's an if, even if he is there, but symbolically, that's his heartland, and if they claim that, then they would claim victory.
OK, to the right is the hotel where the journalists are staying, foreign journalists. To the left, the compound.
Yeah, Colonel Gaddafi's compound there, right in the centre of the picture, and then just sorry, the hotel, yes, to the right of the picture there. That smoke coming up is in a general northwesterly direction, yes. So if you think Rixos Hotel, that's the picture on the right. The smoke that you've been looking towards is in a general northwesterly direction, Gaddafi's compound.
And our viewers will know the compound. Perhaps they don't recognise immediately the name, but it's the compound that we've often seen Colonel Gaddafi in the past.
Absolutely. This is his base, this is his heartland. It's a huge, sprawling thing. I don't think anyone knows exactly how big it is. Some people say it's up to about 6 kilometres. It's absolutely massive. It's like driving into a mini city when you go into it. I'm just trying to take you around the perimeters of the compound now to try and give you sort of some sense of scale. There are massive high walls all along here, which NATO's bombing over the course intermittently of the last 6 months. The idea, if they bring the walls down, if they bring the watchtowers down, then they will almost clear a path for the rebels to be able to go in. Let's give you a sense of some of the locations which might be on NATO's target list or have been on the target list as well over the course of the last few months. Outside the compound, to the right-hand side here, I think this is interesting strategically. There is a military base here. That will be of obvious interest to NATO, so that's been hit quite a few times. Up here in this corner, I think, is a communications area, so that's quite interesting as well. And I'm just going to put across to the side here. Now, this is a really important area. This is the residential area of Colonel Gaddafi, although these little marks here, you might wonder what they are. They're tents. Colonel Gaddafi likes to sleep in a tent, and he always takes a tent with him if he travels. So let's move in closer into the compound and have a look at perhaps the most important area here. This is the residential area. This is the area that was bombed back in 1986. When we've seen the pictures of the rallies inside the compound, they take place just here, in front of that building. So this was bombed back in 1986 by the Americans in retaliation for the bombing of a disco in Berlin in which a number of American service personnel were killed. And this is the area where journalists were always taken for their rallies. And when we talk about shields, the concept of human shields, supporters are able to come and go actually quite freely. I can't tell you what the situation obviously has been in the last week. But over the course of the last 6 months, supporters would go in and out of there in support of Colonel Gaddafi, rallying in front of those buildings, and often he would come out and speak to them. A few weeks ago, I actually went to what they described as a mass wedding, a communal wedding, which traditionally Gaddafi would go to and almost bless the people in the ceremony there. He would bless newborn babies there, which gives you that real sort of sense of why it was such a focal point in Tripoli, the Gaddafi heartland.